Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Weekly Wave. Hope everyone's having a great week, and we're going to go ahead and get started with accountability reporting. Again, chronic absentee medical exemption window. It remains open until 6:30 of 23. There is webinar training that is provided throughout the year through the Office of Accountability, and if you missed the ones that were done prior, you can always go to the link listed here and view those trainings. And I believe there's a guide or a schedule as when the next ones are going to be. Remember, with this medical exemption, you're going to have 3 components: your local exemption committee that actually meets to approve and deny requests for a medically exempted based upon local board policy and supporting documentation. You're going to have a site user who uses the the medical exemption window to process to submit requests and upload the committee's approved absences and documentation for each student. And then you're going to have a district admin user who actually reviews the request and supporting documentation for each student's medically exempted absences to approve or deny the request. Your district admin user and site user cannot be the same person. So make sure that when you set that up, they're different people. So next slide is going to do with post-secondary coursework credit. Please be checking your information in accountability reporting to ensure that your grades are posting correctly. Right now, you should be able to go in and see whether you've gotten post-secondary credit for your internships, any internships that you have, and also any college courses from the first semester. Your career tech and advanced placement, you won't see that credit until there are 2 grades in there. Make sure when you're looking at that, there are little gray boxes in there that are placeholders for grades. You need to be able to see either, one for your college and internships per semester, or for career tech, you should have 2 boxes at least, because you're going to have 2 grades in order to get that credit on that in AP. There's also a conflict tab in the accountability reporting app, and under the school data conflict, look there and make sure you don't have any instructional level code errors, because if you do, those need to be cleared. So, and remember, if you have any questions in regards to post-secondary credit, you can reach out to Karen Mock at the following email address: Kurt Johnson, myself, and June Jared. I've listed all of our email addresses here. And when there's new windows that are opening, you'll get those announcements through Gov Delivery. If you've got any questions in regards to your accountability information, please email accountability@sde.ok.gov. Also in accountability, the demographic overlay window is now open. So schools should review your demographic information for students participating in the OSTP. Also, snapshots of the demographic information in accountability reporting application will be taken on the dates listed below. This data is going to be used for future reports. Because of this, it's vital to ensure that the accountability reporting application, that data is accurate. So the guidance on demographic overlay can be found at the link listed below. And the dates that are in question are April 20th. That's going to cover your high school and 3rd grade early RSA. And May the 10th is going to be grades 3 through 8. That's their testing window. So does anybody have any questions about the accountability reporting application or the slides that I've posted? Okay. And if you've got a question, please just unmute your mic. I'd rather just talk to you and person to person instead of trying to keep up with the chat. So just let me know if you've got questions. Okay, moving along. The ASR, it opened on March 1st and it's going to close on June 30th. Keep in mind that close date is based upon your school's last day of school, because you'll have 10 days from the last day of school to complete that report. So, or based upon your RAO visit. It just has to be done before the RAO gets there. I think, but by law, it's 10 days. Right now, be clearing any ownership conflicts and data validation errors. Always check your calendars. Make sure you're meeting the school requirement days of 165 days total. That would include 158 days of instructional days, 2 parent-teacher conference days, and 5 professional days at a minimum. Also on the ASR, we need you to make sure that any student that graduates, you have the proper exit codes and the exit dates before you certify your ASR. And if you have questions in regards to your ASR, please contact State Aid. They're at 405-521-3460. Also, in relation to the ASR, I want to talk about the ALT-ED. I mean, right now that tab is not showing up. You should be able to view your ALT-ED data on the ASR no later than May the 1st. Right now, we've been piloting the ability to utilize student participation to actually capture the students in ALT-ED, their enrollments. And this will give districts an option on how they want to enter their data for that report. And right now it's capturing from your enrollments. This would let it capture from student participation. So if you're currently a WinGauge district, you can utilize that function right now. It is working. You just need to make sure you're providing the start and end date of each enrollment. And you would have to enter multiple if a student is coming in and out of ALT-ED. So, that is an option. For our districts that are Infinite Campus, there's going to be an update coming out on April 10th that will also allow you to use student participation, that field as well. So look for that. If you don't want to take the update, you can still continue to work it from the enrollment piece. For if you're a power school district, you would also have to take an update for this functionality to work, but I don't have a timeline on their update at this point. As soon as I do, I'll post that to our slides. And we are working with the other vendors to provide districts that ability as well. So, but I don't have a timeline on those other districts at this point. But keep in mind, your enrollment piece is still the same as it was last year. If the data is incorrect, then what you'll need to do is request that we open up the on-screen data entry and you put those dates in as well. So just what I'd be doing currently is going in and making a spreadsheet of your ALT-ED students, their start and end dates. That way you can easily check what should be and what shouldn't. So does anybody have any questions about the ASR or the ALT-ED fields?
Nancy, I have a question. This is Teresa at Fairview Schools. The ASR, are we supposed to be able to look at our numbers and they match up what we have like in our power school? Because right now our numbers are way off.
Well, I mean, I'm going to let Lori answer that.
I'm thinking it matters what you're running your report. Are you running your reports to the end of the year? Or are you running them to today or the day
Today.
We might want to look. I mean, since you're seeing it right now, we might want to look and see if you have some kind of problem. So just email me.
Okay.
So a couple of your, like whatever you're seeing, and then we can kind of start digging.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Teresa. Anybody else have any questions?
Hey, Nancy, this is Kelly Grasso from Union Public Schools. If we have both in there, you guys will take the participation, is that? Does it matter?
That's a good question. And I am not going to be able to answer that today on this call, but I would think that the student participation would override the enrollment, but I need to verify that.
Okay, great.
But I'll let you know. I'll reach out to you and let you know, Kelly.
All right, thank you.
And, you know, I always post these slides. So if that's the case, I'm going to update this slide today. And so refer back to this slide for that question, but I'll reach out to you, Kelly. Okay, everybody else.
Thank you.
Anybody else have questions?
Nancy, this is Tara and El Reno. So you did say that we will have a last ditch effort or option to do on-screen data entry for those start-stop dates, right?
You sure will.
Okay, then I'm good.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, I'm going to move on then. Changing your suspenders. If your district's going to change for the next year, 23-24, please email us at studentdatainfo@sde.ok.gov. Let us know who you currently have and who you're moving to. We just want to make sure that transition is seamless and that you're not stuck with having to resolve every student in your district with their STNs. We need that. I think it's the student ref ID or something. There's something to do with the STN that needs to be transitioned as well. So please reach out to us. Next slide has to do with PEBT. So timelines are still April or March 13th through the 15th for the students to submit their forms for PEBT issues. The DVR window is going to be March 20th through the 28th, but right now the districts can look at their calendar and there's other things that you can be doing that might preempt the parents' concerns. So that's March 20th through the April 28th. And then the end of May is the final school year 2022 in this summer. The file's going to go to DHS. So make sure that you're communicating to your parents. I'm just a little concerned because we don't have that many DVRs right now. So we want to make sure that if you've got forms coming out to your spreadsheets that's got parents, that you're going ahead and submitting those DVRs. Also, you know, we provided the template for you to use to communicate to the parents. Make sure you're posting that on your website. I'm sure you've sent out notifications via email or messaging to your parents. It's just really a short timeline. So we want to make sure that they're aware that they have to submit it by a certain date.
Nancy, this is Lisa with Choctaw. I have a quick question. Can you tell me how that data is being pulled from the forms the parents are filling out? Because I just got my first file on Monday, and I know of 3 people that work in our district that filled it out the day we sent the letter out, and they were not on that list.
Can you send me those names of those individuals when we're done with the call?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
I will go to CNO here and see what what has happened, because I don't know.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so that is a concern though. So each spreadsheet's going to only contain that parents that week. So did you get the first week by chance that it was sent out?
We didn't send it out until after we got back from spring break. So
Right, but I'm just saying, when we sent the very first spreadsheet that week, did you get that?
no, the first spreadsheet I've received was the one that I got this past Monday.
Okay, well, you might check with your superintendent
I already have.
and your lunch person.
Yeah, I've talked to both child nutrition and our superintendent, and they haven't received anything either.
Okay, then send me those names and I'll get with them.
Okay.
Okay.
Nancy, Nancy, this is Dina from Moore. I will say our first one only had 3 on it, but our second spreadsheet, it was nice. Actually, like those first 3 were listed on there, and the third one they had highlighted in yellow, so we could tell that that was like the end of that first submission week, and then the rest of them were below that. So ours, I don't know about everybody else's, but ours included the first week and then subsequently the second week.
Okay, all right, well, that's good.
On the spreadsheet we just got, yeah.
No, that, I appreciate you sharing that, Dina, because I mean, we were told that you would get a separate sheet each week, but if they're denoting what has already been sent, that's good to know. So thank you for that. What I had said earlier, right now you can be validating the site calendars for distant learning and virtual days and creating those DVRs. Now, you don't have to wait for a parent to submit a request. You can also validate your virtual and blended students and create, if your basis of admission was incorrect, or so go ahead and make sure you're proactively doing that so you can, it might resolve the parent's request now. So also we've provided guidance to assist you creating those DVRs. So it should help you to make sure you're doing it in the right section. And I don't know if you're getting questions from your parents about students' STNs, but they'll be required to provide that, and they'll have to come to you for that information. Okay, and to qualify, just making sure you know that the district must have 5 consecutive site-wise distant learning or virtual days due to COVID in 2022, or your district must have 5 consecutive of declining attendance days due to COVID in 2022. And then summer PEBT must have an approved meal application for free and reduced status no later than May 26th. So no applications beyond that date will be accepted, no exceptions. Cody, would you like to add something? Cody's the one that's processing these DVRs, him and actually Sydney. So Cody, do you want to talk about what you're seeing or what you're not seeing?
Yeah, can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Okay. I think Nancy about covered everything. Well, first of all, non-PBT, before I forget, because you mentioned the student participation for WinGage schools. If you're getting XSD errors, and most of you are, reach out to WinGage. They're aware of what's going on, so they should be able to help you pretty quick. But back to this. I mean, if anyone has any questions about how to submit them, we see some student school DVRs that is only for free and reduced status. So don't submit a student school DVR and say, well, this student had this many days virtual. You'll have to go create those yourself. Student attendance, make sure that absence value is 0 for the DVAP. Because I mean, if it's 1, then that means they're not there and they won't get credit. But otherwise, I mean, we don't have any calendar DVRs. I mean, it's been pretty quiet. So, I mean, just, if anyone has any questions about anything,
Please reach out. And that's what's concerning to us is this, it's such a short timeline and we're really not getting many DVRs in. So please don't wait till the last minute. Please, please, please don't wait till the last minute.
And so Nancy, if we, on the list that we did receive, if our data is correct and it's correct in accountability, but the parent is saying that they have not received their benefits, we do not do a DVR. Is that correct?
They're saying,
correct.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
If it's correct in accountability, then yes, you don't need a DVR.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else have any questions?
Nancy,
Yes.
is there a place where there's a list of schools that are going to qualify? Because we know our calendar, so we know the 5 consecutive distance learning days, but we don't know how you're determining the declining attendance rate. Is there a place where we can go see if we even qualify?
Just give us a call and we can look at the list. I don't have a list that's published. So I don't have a list that's published, so if you could just give us a call, we can check and see if you're on there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry about that, guys. Anybody else have any questions? Okay, transfers. Incoming open transfer results for Q3 and district capacity for Q4 reporting is open now and will close on April 17th. So make sure you're addressing those. Approved transfer extensions may be acted upon from May 1st through the 31st. And applications for the 23-24 school will not be made available for parents until June 1st, and you won't be able to go in and approve them till July 1st. So make note of those dates. Does anybody have questions about transfers?
I have a question.
Okay.
This is Angela from Norman Public Schools. My coworker and I were talking, those transfers will start going into the portal on June 1. We know we can't make decisions, but based on just the information we can see, it's not enough for us to be able to contact a parent to request records or contact a district to request records. Is there any way that can be adjusted where we would be able to see a little more information about a student so that when we get to July 1, we're ready to start processing through those, so that would speed it up?
Angela, I can reach out to Ryan and make that request and provide feedback next week on what he is letting me know.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Nancy.
Uh-huh.
Again, last year we were able to get to, Eric made changes so that we could actually get to the printout. Had 5 third graders. You can only work one at a time, but I could get in and print those sheets out that have the STN, the prior district, and all of that stuff. So, but I'm actually like standing on my phone right now over at one of our high schools. So I'm not sitting in front of my computer to be able to say we push to do that, but we were able to accomplish that.
So, okay. I can check.
We would love to know that secret.
Okay.
Well,
I'll check it.
I'll call you guys. I'll call Norman this afternoon when I get back to my office.
Okay, but make a note of it or let me know, Dina. That way I can address everyone next week if they want to be able to do the same thing.
Okay.
I'm going to check with Ryan as well, though. Okay. Anybody have anything else on transfers? Okay. Well, basically, that's all I have for today. If you have questions, please email us at studentdatainfo@sde.ok.gov, or you can always, if you need reference material or documentations, we have it listed on at the SDE website. We're under student information, documents, and guidance. I want to thank everyone for joining. I mean, y'all are great to work with, and I appreciate everyone for sharing what works for them at times. So I don't have anything else. I'll stay on. I'm going to stop the recording now. And if anyone has questions they want to ask with